Hi, I'm Bill Castelli, the Vice President of Government Affairs with the Maryland Association of Realtors, and today is Friday, March 5th, and I'm going to give a legislative overview of the activities of MAR down at the Maryland General Assembly for the past week. We had a number of hearings this past week. We had a hearing on Senate Bill 686, which would impose stormwater management fees on all residential and commercial property in Maryland. It would require that all counties impose a flat fee on residential property, as well as a fee on all commercial property that is based on the square footage of their impervious surfaces. It would require each of the counties to determine exactly what that fee was going to be, so they have some flexibility to determine how much they wanted to make the fee, but it would require all counties to impose the fee. We think there are plenty of fees on real estate already, including recordation fees and transfer taxes and recordation taxes and property taxes and impact fees, that we don't need another tax on real estate, and we testified in opposition to that bill. We also supported financial literacy legislation that would provide a graduation, or at least a requirement, that high school students take a financial literacy course so that they are educated about what financial instruments are, what they do, what their rights are. We also testified in support of one of our priority bills, private transfer fees. This is a bill that would prohibit private transfer fees in Maryland, Senate Bill 666. There was no opposition to the legislation before the committee, and that legislation would make it illegal for developers and other folks to put a private transfer fee on property. And these private transfer fees are imposed on property after an owner sells the property, so that they can continue to realize a fee from the sale of their property long after they've given up their rights to that property. We think it's a bad idea. It leads to complications at settlement, and it imposes additional costs on buyers. We also supported legislation that was passed by the House of Delegates, HB 406, and that is legislation that provides new guidance and direction for real estate teams in Maryland. It is actually the first time in Maryland law that real estate teams will be officially recognized. So in addition to recognizing them, it gives real estate teams and practitioners the rules of the road of what they can and can't do as a real estate team. That bill did pass the House of Delegates, as I said, and will be considered in the Senate now, where it must have a hearing and then also be passed by the Senate before it can be signed into law by the governor. We have a number of bills up for hearing next week, and we thank you for tuning in to Annapolis Update.